That's our last post, guys.
Wow. Thanks, Guy.
Yep, well, just so you guys know.
Thanks, Guy, who does Twitter. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look. We're obviously moving on into the next match as Team Kipo was able to move on. So this will be Prepare to Die versus Counter Every Time. On one end, Obolov, Mala, and Gazag. And then on the other, we have Little Master Kababi and Godolph. Kababi we saw do really well on Taya yesterday. Gazag is going to try to follow his footsteps. Both Tayas getting their Wind Bomb, giving haste. Interesting for Godolph is going to actually get an other side BattleRekt to turn the target invisible. And this is actually interesting. Very rarely do we see a Paloma. I think she has some very good throughput in threes and has a little bit more protection. But let's see if that works out for them.
Wind circles all over the place. Gonna pull in Gazag, gets the spacebar as well. Little Master puts the pressure on. He doesn't have much. He has to haste away. Not too much health taken by their side, but right now it's just a lot of trying to get that initial poke down. And now we're gonna see he's really just going down for Gazag. He will not let up, but he's gotta be careful.
Very nice from Godolph. Lands the spell block at the exact right time, and Mala spends his camouflage, but is not able to get value out of it. But I think it's really interesting right now. Little Master lost a lot of health, trying to trade out with Gazag, but Gazag just takes a big extract, has to spend Barrier and Tornado stacked on top of each other, and this could be real bad. Let's see if Little Master can make the connection on Rukan. Oh no,
the pull. Gazag just gets away from that completely charged weapon. He would have been down. The ultimate is up now. There's 2 orbs to MyCon, Prepare to Die. Let's see what they can do. Can he use his ultimate? The haste proves to be too much. He has to get other side to protect himself. We're going to see Croak try and put the pressure on. Oh, there's a piggy. He's going to get pulled in, but he couldn't get silenced. His weapon wasn't charged yet.
How is Gazag still alive? No, and finally does Mala fall. And that was actually the result of Gazag being so low on health, not able to give as much value and presence as he would have liked. And Croak ended up taking a lot of the chipping damage as a result of that. And now Obolov will fall as well. Good pressure from Little Master. I mean, that game was a lot about the back line sitting back and trying to deal with the Croak and trying to duel out against Obolov and zone him away. And then Little Master took the one-on-one against Gazag and was able to chunk him pretty low. It was a fairly even exchange. Big problem is 3 center orbs went to MyCon Prepare to Die and was able to heal themselves up. But Gazag was not able to secure that and then got chunked by Kababi's X Strike. And at that point, you have such low health that even a sneeze will take you out, and so Gazag did not feel like he could push into opponent territory.
I think the person that has closest to a sneeze would be Petulous with his vomit.
Oh man.
Take you out with a sneeze. A disgusting mothy sneeze.
I really like this BattleRekt for Paloma, making your Spirit Guide, that's her spacebar. As long as it's affecting a target, it's going to have an additional effect. Either 50% damage reduction, or 25% damage buff, depending on if your target is an ally or an enemy. I think that's really significant.
And she can always turn that into something else, right? She can always either jump into an ally, jump into an enemy. She'll always follow with the panic, which gets a little predictable, so maybe she's going to wait and use that panic for a certain moment. Like a lot of people usually just wait that out if she does it immediately. Yeah. Oh, now we see them just jump in. Gazag does get protected from a shield, though. Obolov will put the barrier on him, but now Mala's got to be careful. Taking a little bit of damage as well. Little Master wants to get a good poke. Does hit Gazag. And the pull as well, followed by silence. The haste does come out, going to protect him a bit. And the orb, again, will get poked down by Little Master.
Oh, nice from Little Master. I like that pool. Knew that Paloma was CC'd for just a bit. Quick thinking, and they'll mitigate just a tiny bit of damage. And I think that's the difference between Kababi losing a ton of health and Kababi just taking a little bit of chip here and losing out just a tiny point.
Double Taya is honestly the funniest thing to watch. So much haste going around.
Oh no, this is looking real bad right now. A lot of ultimates popped on the side of Obolov, Gazag, and Mala, but I don't think they've gotten the health damage that they would have preferred. Here comes a counter ultimate, and they really need to justify this counter attack here, and they do! Landing the kill on Croak yet again. Oh, the extract gets interrupted by the claw. So good from Little Master.
It actually was looking like Little Master wasn't going to capitalize at all on his ultimate. I think he only made 1 contact, and I've said it before, but I'll reiterate just one more time. It doesn't say it in his stats, but essentially the way Rakan's ultimate works, he has a cleave on his left click, an actual cleave, which no one really has.
Yeah,
He'll let anyone in front of him, and he has his right click turns into a shorter, like it's a long distance grab, but it pulls a different distance. It doesn't pull the full distance. It will deal 20 damage and heal for 20 health.
Yes.
So he lands 2, he's back to his max health, and he's dealt 40 damage. Yep. If he lands all 4 or 5 that he can possibly do during his ultimate, you're probably dead.
Yeah.
So even though he only hit 1 of them, he was still able to get a little bit of sustain and a little bit of heal. Plus, he got a pull as well, so he was able to pull them in, deal enough damage. They did get the final blow on poor old Mala, who's trying to leap around, trying to croak it up.
Oboluf, Mala, and Gazak spent so much meter into their offense when they threw all their ultimates on the floor and spent all their meter. When they did not get a significant kill or had somebody get zoned out low enough that one hit would have taken them out, that was the opportunity for Little Master Kababi and Godov to make a huge counterattack. They took it and were able to finish out the kill, and that's what separates these two teams right now.
Sorry, I'm wrong, by the way. The heal 16. Now that's fixed up.
The left click is 20, but the claw is 16, I believe.
We can pull in Little Master again, just putting on that pressure. Mala does try and get in, but every time he does, he gets shut out. Take a look at the health disparity right now. Oboluf losing about a third, same with Mala, and they're just almost looking full and healthy, unprepared to die. Do almost 3 ultimates now. We're gonna see maybe one. There is one, the Rakan, but he will get in-capped. It's gonna get wasted. There comes another ultimate. Palomas is now down. Oboluf caught in the corner. They're just gonna turn targets. They wanna go to Mala now.
Godov might be in a little bit of trouble trying to use mobility. There's a good tornado to get him out of the crippling goo, but is still pretty low on health. Has to start healing up his teammates to get that Spirit Link to heal himself up, or spend things like Other Side or the EX spell break. Let's see, nice use of the invul frames on the swap to avoid the leap damage. Just these little itty bits of optimization here for Godov.
They tried to predict the Mala, but now Mala's left all alone with a Rakan and a Paloma. He does get panicked now. Kababi does win the 1v1 with Taya up top, and at the same time, his ally goes down as well.
Wow, and in both scenarios in the 2v1 split, Little Master and Godov, actually I think it was a 2v2 and then a 1v1 happening for Kababi, and he's able to close out the kill and win that fight. Godov had so many little tiny optimizations there that helped him survive, and look at that 9-0-1, the Psycho Pomp, showing the strength of Paloma in 3v3.
That average protection per round, 630.
Yeah.
That's like all their health pools combined, every round.
I really like it, and that's something that I think is a little underappreciated, just because the timing is very difficult on it. On Spirit Guide, on Paloma's spacebar, when you actually decide to travel, you're invulnerable for that time. Also, when you use the EX swap, when both targets are disappearing on swapping, they're invulnerable during that time. And so there is a reason to actually swap your teammate, even though you don't necessarily change position, because if you need that invulnerability for that fraction of a moment, it could be worth it to avoid a ton of damage coming your way. But in that case, there was just so little health on Godov left, and he said, you know what, I have my spacebar out already, I may as well just avoid as much damage as I can. Avoided Croak's leap, and was able to get life gripped out of there after that swap happened. Just good synergy, good awareness. I like how Little Master Kababi and Godov played out that match.
And I think since Paloma does build that second BattleRekt that kind of beefs up her spacebar as well, it'll help promote her to always have that spacebar on somebody, which then she can do things like swap, because she's always kind of prepared and always ready for one, or then initiate and get the panics as well. But taking a look at a quick replay, again, we talked about that Rakan ultimate, how much damage it can do. If you get in-capped out of it, it's completely wasted. But if not, you're just going to get shredded through. Once he gets this pull on Taya, we're going to see him actually get stunned immediately, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to be able to, I think this is actually the one he only lands that last pull. The last pull where they're able to finish him off.
Yeah, the extract there, perfect. And you know, it's a lot about zoning as well, right? When he popped his ultimate, the barrier actually went onto Gazak, and Gazak had to back away, had to spend meter on trying to push Little Master and Kababi away from targets, and then Oboluf backed up super far as well. And that left, guess what? Mala, it was the last target that was available, and that left him in an uncomfortable spot, and was able to finally secure the kill on Croak. And that's just, I said it before, and I'll say it again. When you throw all your resources onto the floor, when Taya spends all her resources, when Lucy dumps crippling goo on the floor, you're left with little to nothing in terms of defense or utility. And then the counter ultimate pop from Rakan, you said it right, he missed a lot of grips.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't the most efficient ult in terms of turning numbers for Rakan, but Rakan just stood there and pushed forward, and everybody was trying to back away because they didn't want to get gripped.
Yeah.
They didn't want to give Rakan healing as well, and then they ended up spending Barry because guess what? The left one swipes, 20 per swipe is a lot of damage, and then you have nothing for Mala.
Yeah, and it's easy to underestimate what that does positioning-wise, just the presence of knowing that he's ulted. And when, you know, we compare two ultimates. You look at Frey's ult, instant damage, right? It's just like, thunder, and then everyone's just going to die and take damage. Whereas you look at Rakan, it's a sustained damage over time, and he has a lot more presence on the field. With Freya, you use a single mobility, you get out of there. with Rakan. Now the whole field has to be aware of it. Everyone has to try and space out. Something has to go to protect somebody. Usually mobility on most people need to get used because now he's got a range to reach everyone. So it's really interesting. But, you know, the downfalls, he has no more other abilities he can use, so he has no mobility himself. He can get absolutely shredded if he gets put into a Lucy ult and stunned or something of that nature, or he can get stunned out of the whole thing. So it's always an interesting toss-up between channeled ults and insta-ults. That was kind of a silly conversation I just added, but I don't know. Random thoughts that go through my head.
No, I think that's a very good point. And what the? Oh, the other side with the speed boost on the map.
Little Master just catching everybody off guard.
Wow.
The boogeyman himself.
He's a ride to victory there.
That was actually amazing. That was really cool.
Yeah, I like it. I want in the second round. Oh, they don't. Oh, okay. Well, they have the haste and they have the other side as well. But I think they're taking a little bit of a dumpster for it. Kababi is about to go down. He's going to haste himself. Run, Kababi. Run, Godov. Oh, what?
Never mind.
I have no idea what's going on in this game, I'll be honest. Something happened. People are dead. The cross kill happened. Run, Mala. Oh, Obelov just runs out of that grip.
Oh, but he missed the health. Don't juke your own allies. Mala wants to put the pressure on. The deceit did come out. He wasn't able to capitalize, but we do have a full ultimate from Little Master. Nice dodge. But the Wolf's too strong.
Oh, the CC. Oh, who got it? I think it was actually Obelov and Mala.
It was. They did get it.
Ah, the Venom. Oh, no. Oh, you're dead.
What? Paloma's down. Now it's going to be a 2v1. Little Master does not have his ultimate anymore.
Rukan's pretty good at 2v1, and there's not a lot of health on the side of Obelov or Mala. He's going to spend a lot of cooldowns here, so wait. Just be patient. Also, ultimate is not a good choice. Oh, Petrifying Bolt is down. Little Master should go ham right now. He should find a way in.
He wants this orb.
Oh, does land the stun. That's going to hurt. Misses the charge attack as well. It spends his count consume. Oh, no, he's going to have to pop his ultimate because he has to heal. Gets one left click sweep. Gets incapacitated, and that might be over.
Oh, that's going to be it.
He spends a Sinister Strike.
Wow, they actually turned it around. That was
good patience. Good patience from Obelov and Mala. That got really scary. That got really scary, but nice.
That Venom wind, followed up by a stun.
I want to see them do that mobility thing again, but I think it kind of hurt them. But I just want to see it for the sake of, like, I want to catch that. I want to track Little Master as he runs across the field. Let me just make sure the camera's on him. Just
I hope
so
they're
that
listening.
It happens.
Do it again.
Do it again, please. Haste, other side, and yeehaw.
And there's a lot of cooldowns just to get in there and surprise him. Let's see if we do it again.
No, it's not.
No,
it's
not this time.
Happening.
Sorry. Little Master now. He's going to be patient, try and get those M2s out. So much damage, especially with a charged weapon. It does a little bit more. He will get pulled in. Instead, he's going to use that as an excuse to initiate. They're going to put the damage on, but now the hastes are out.
Nice grip into silence. Oh, but the extract for the return on Gaza.
Be careful. Oh, and that orb somehow did just get melted down to prepare to die. They are able to take the resources from that. Now Gazog did get his stun, but it wasn't enough. He does get pulled in. He's got an ultimate, though. Will he pop the piggy? He will. Almost getting pushed out of it, but now he's actually going to turn a target to Godov, who does have an ultimate to protect herself.
See how it gets to be spent.
Little
Here comes the swap. Maybe a spell block. No, Godov is going to miss it. And now Little Master's in a lot of trouble. Look how fast that deceit is. Going to be moving across the map really quick. And Mala does land 2 hits of that combo. Gazog is in a little bit of trouble. Then they need to watch out. Little Master will take him down with the Shadow Bolt. And it just seems like the aggression from Prepare to Die is just on a higher level encounter every time. They're able to land more efficient damage and make the connections happen quicker, especially when they divide up. Godov is so tricky in terms of kiting and convincing their opponents not to focus her down. And that when that happens, in much the same way that Pestilus has just consistent healing and has big burst healing on his right click. I mean, Paloma doesn't quite have the burst healing that Pestilus has, but in many ways it's similar in the sense that if you just leave Paloma to sit there and channel, she will just indefinitely heal and heal and heal and heal and heal. Unlike Sirius, unlike Lucy, unlike Pearl, there are no charges to Paloma's heals. So she will hold that mouse 1 button down and just shoot her allies and watch the health just indefinitely increase.
Now the cons of that, she has to worry about projectile speed. It's slow, right? Most heals are either instantaneous, show up underneath them, or have a short cast time. You know, you look at Sirius and Uldur, they're just kind of there. She has to worry about, you know, projectile speed and also walls can actually get in her way, whereas the other supports, not so much. So while she does have sustained heal, she has to make sure she was worried about her positioning as well. I'm just going to see her heal up. In this example, look at this, Little Master not taking anything. He's just fronting everything to the face. The wolf will come out, and now, be too careful. Mala's in there, and he has no more cooldowns. He will get panicked out just before he deceits on Godov. Good timing, and that first orb's going to go to Prepare to Die yet again.
Prepare to Die is, even though they didn't quite have center map control, they will still secure the orb, and that meter is going to really hurt them. Kababi has a full stick of butter, so does Godov, and they might spend it. Here comes a Piggy, will get immediately taken out of it. There's Godov with the Paloma ultimate. Oh, but the panic runs out of it. Already at max health, however, so that's not going to matter too much. But now the counter pop on the ultimate, and this might hurt Little Master quite a bit. He's going to have to pop his own ultimate, but look how low he's going. He's trying to get healed up by Godov, and I think it's going to work for just a bit. Stymies a lot of the damage that Little Master was taking.
He was able to sustain just enough to stay alive, and now Mala and Kababi in a little 1v1 at the bottom. They're just trying to beat each other out. Will he get the deceit? He will.
Oh, nice.
Will he get followed up by the stun? Oh, what an other side. And it goes invis, so they did not know how to chase him down. Now the second orb, or the third orb, apologies, is going to go to counter every time. They are slowly getting the center control and really trying to make this comeback. The Piggy has been popped, though. Will he chase down? It's a little bit too hard for Gazak to get in. The shield will break, and she will lose her ultimate. Now we're going to see if Little Master can get a good pull in. He does get a good M2. The barrier comes out just a half second too late. Kababi has an ultimate
nice
as well.
incapacity onto Paloma, and that's going to mean that other side is shut down for just a while. They take that opening to try to put some damage into Little Master, but I think the real target should be Gazak, or rather Kababi. Oh, another incapacity lands. Where is the other side? Gonna spend the ultimate instead. Kababi taking a little bit of chip. The Paloma ult will heal up Little Master, but he's immediately taking more damage here. Gonna have to pop the consume. This is intense. A lot of attempts at offense here from counter every time. Can they actually close it out? That's the question right now. And I think it might. This double threat of Little Master and Kababi getting low is too much pressure for Godov to handle. And will eventually find a kill. Finally, Kababi goes down, and Little Master has to cut away, and Godov is left all alone in the center of the map. Life Grip to try to help that situation out a little bit. Oh, but Vortex will take the consume down and finish out the kill on Little Master. I like it. Mala really turned up the Croak play right at the end there, just constantly pelting Prepare to Die with incapacitates and stuns. Just making the target choice really difficult for Godov. Just as we touched on, hey, you have a lot of healing capacity on Paloma. Your throughput is very good, right? Your healing uptime is very great. There's no cooldowns on any of that, but you don't really have good burst healing, right? And when you're taking damage from the left side, then the right side, from one teammate, then the other, and you're getting CC'd up, and there's just health dropping, and you fall behind on healing, you cannot actually heal faster. There's nothing you can do to heal faster. Paloma is a lot about mitigation. Paloma is a lot about interrupts, right? A lot of Paloma is doing stuff before damage happens rather than healing up after damage occurs.
We will see all the hastes. All haste all the time going in. Mala's going to get a good stun. Trying to get some max damage on Kababi. Be able to land a little bit. Oh, and the panic on Rakan is now just
look at the health. Look at how much Godov is losing. And that's just because there's so many different targets that are losing health at this time that Paloma has a hard time keeping up. And especially on herself. Other side does get spent, but there's still going to be a camouflage or a deceive for Mala coming up right here, and I think he's going to spend it right now, and he does. Here comes the incapacitate. Nice from Godov to use the pushback. Knew exactly where Mala was going. I think a little bit too telegraphed there. Piggy versus Piggy.
Oh, Piggy versus Piggy, and one will go down immediately. Gonna try and get chased down. Can Kababi make some of this? He does get a little bit of damage on Gazak, but he will get stunned. Oh, and the ultimate from Little Master is gonna deal some damage. Oh, Croak!
Oh,
Croak
dashes into the wall. Really, really good connection onto Mala, and I think that was off the back of another fantastic spell block from Paloma. We talked about it where Paloma needs to do a lot of things before the damage happens, but that also provides her the opportunity to turn defensive situations into aggressive ones. A perfectly timed other side can avoid big damage and set yourself up for a cooldown trade situation that goes very heavily in your favor. At the same time, landing the panic there stopped Godov from getting hit by the incapacitate or the camouflage stun, and then also turned around the opportunity for Little Master to land a claw, land the charged weapon hit, land much more damage, and Mala was junked too low to be able to survive that scenario.
I do enjoy the fact that counter every time it started to get a lot more center control. 3 orbs to 1 that round, but they weren't able to use the resources to take things down. You look at Croak. Croak's trying to get in there, but there's just so much jumping around between hastes, other sides, swaps, Rakan just initiating. It's really hard for Croak to land on a target and try and really land on that damage. You know, he relies a lot on getting that first stun, trying to get a lot of damage, bringing out them toxic blades. Wasn't able to do much on it, or at least he was able to do some, just not as much as he wanted. You know, we see he did 260 damage in comparison to Gazak, right? 781. It's a lot easier for Gazag to haste up and deal that damage from a distance, especially with her ultimate. Whereas Mala's having a hard time locking somebody down, and I think it's also because Prepare to Die is doing a good job of trying to stay away from him.
I think so as well.
Now we're going to see who's actually going to get this first orb. Kind of every time, I think the past few games have had a lot of great center control. Will they be able to keep that up? Little Master does go in. The Consume comes out to try and take some of the damage. He will miss an E, though. Now Mala's going to use that as an opportunity to go in. The M2 goes out, but Little Master takes a lot of damage in return as well. And they will get the first orb.
Nice incapacity onto the Paloma, and Mala is looking to set something up. The extract comes in, but Tornado from Kababi is going to dispel that situation, and another great spell block from Godov gets the Wolf as well onto Mala. And now Godov already spent mobility. They know that other side is down just for a little bit. We'll get the incapacity as well. And here comes the target onto Little Master. There's no Tornado, and finally the other side comes out, and Little Master is in a little bit of trouble. And as a reward, Mala, Obolov, and Gazag will get the center orb. Here comes the Piggy Pop.
An ultimate coming out. Oh, there's the Paloma ultimate for protection to try and keep her back. Try and stop that ultimate from doing too much damage. They're now crunched up in the corner.
Oh my god, this Piggy is lasting forever. That last BattleRekt Fortai is so great. Every time she hits a boomerang, increases the duration by 0.5 seconds, and Gazag was able to just rank slang for an extended period of time, doing a ton of throughput into Prepare to Die.
Getting the pull in and the initial cleave. Take a look at that. Gazag has to use a Tornado, but he's just a little bit too late on that reaction. We're going to see Little Master heal back up to max and deal a good chunk of damage. Looks like probably about 100 between the two of them. Oh, but now he's got to be careful. He did get chain stunned.
Nice use of the Zephyr, but getting body blocked. Run, Gazag! Will actually get the kill.
Oh,
there's a cross kill.
Does happen. Now
Piggy is out.
Oh, nice. Careful. It's a great Petrify, though, and they actually will be able to secure that. Oh, actually, no, they weren't. That orb goes to Prepare to Die. He wasn't able to secure it on the Petrify. Obolov now.
Remember, they're tied up 2 in 2 rounds. Whoever wins this will change the map advantage. I mean, Prepare to Die are right on the verge of moving on to the semifinals, and Obolov and Mala need to extend their life in this particular match here if they want a chance at getting money. Oh, nice Tornado, but the Deadly Inject will pop. Other side is down as well. That's an opening. There's long cooldowns on both those abilities there.
Godov, though, does have an ultimate in the works. They have a lot of protection from any burst damage. We're going to see Kababi using his ultimate. Will he be able to capitalize on it? He can't make any connections.
Oh, the roll!
He gets one. The roll does only make him land one, but it might be a little bit too late.
Dead.
Oh, pushed him out of the Paloma, but he's going to finish him off with an M2 anyways. And they will probably take this map. That will be 2 maps to 0. Prepare to Die are going to move on to our semifinals. Counter every time, coming close in map 2, bringing it to round 5, but fell just short at the very end. And Prepare to Die will move on.
The story of this particular round to me was that Kababi was able to land a lot more just kind of mechanical plays than Gazag was. There were so many situations where Gazag would line up an extract, and especially in the opening moments, I think it was very apparent. They had a good opening on Rukon, traded out a lot of cooldowns, wound up to try to get the extract, but it whiffed. If that had hit, Rukon would have lost a chunk of max health at that time, but it happened to miss, and Rukon was able to make it out actually at about 90% health and got topped off. Meanwhile, when Kababi was up to bat, he threw X-Strike boomerangs. It actually landed on the target, was able to get a ton of cleaves off the boomerang, and lowered 3 different members on the side of Counter Every Time's health down to about 80%. And that kind of was a big difference maker, as well as the fact that when Gazag was going to pop butter and use Piggy, a lot of the attacks landed, but it wasn't enough, it wasn't coordinated enough, and it didn't put enough pressure onto Prepare to Die to make them afraid of actually losing a member on their team.